If I could write the song, it wouldn't be too long, enough to show you what you are to me. I just can't make it work. I always get it wrong, but still I try and hope that you can see. Words are heavy things. Sticks and stones can break a body, but it takes one word to break a heart. I want to find the line, the song that I can sing. I try, but I don't know just where to start. For all I want to share, the words just aren't there. I want to show you everything you are. I'd give it all so you could see you through my eyes. You are my light, my ever-shining star.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey, hi, Deb. It's so nice to meet you. Hi, Rick, and hi,
Look
Carolyn.
at you. You're animated.
Yeah. Oh, it's so great to see you all, and thank you so much for having me.
What an honor to have you.
Oh, great. Now, do you see my face or do you see up my nose? Because last time I was on Zoom, Kevin said, "Oh, Sal, we can see right up your nose."
We can see your face, but I would like to see up your nose. Oh, beautiful. The polar caves.
Oh, well, it is, it's been so long, you think it feels like, the years just go by like a few weeks. Now it goes faster and faster. And so I think we've all been so busy, but it's just so great to, have this time to come together again after all this time. Really missed you guys a lot. I did, and thank you so much for the nice intro. I did want to say a few things.
Okay.
One was I was never a German literature professor. I got my degree in that, but I was an English and American culture, language, and history teacher in junior high and high school.
Wow. Okay.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Well,
I knew you were teaching.
Well, I know they had to call me dear professor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's where I got that probably.
Yeah, I also got a note from Chris North, and he was saying that he worked with Brian Connolly, who is with Sweet, but he said the original drummer was Mick Tuckett. So, hats off to, all great musicians everywhere. And it was just great to hear, these last few songs that you played were really something else. Can you say a little something about them?
Hand me the CDs, Carolyn. Sorry? Hand me the CDs that we just played. Oh. That last song was Randy Wood. He's Cree from the Cree Nation, and he has a CD called Family. And it's produced by Canyon Records out in the Southwest. Bill Miller, who has been a musician for many, many years, this is his album Spirit Rain. And we heard the track Underneath the Blue Sky. And of course, the first one was Honor. It was a benefit for Honor the Earth campaign back in the 1990s. And Carolyn chose a track by Bruce Cockburn, Wise Users. So we have fun, playing those. Thank you for asking. Yeah, it seemed to just go perfect, Sally, with your music. Of course, we played Heavy Things, Into the Sun, and I May Ask You to Dance.
Well, it
Really?
just seemed to it seemed to segue so well right now. Here on Bumlo, there's the rain is falling, and there was kind of a, just sort of a, say melancholy about, I think, all of these songs. I don't mean like, you're going to say, oh my gosh, I want to open a vein after this, but there was just kind of a, but it was, kind of rainy day, reflective music, I thought, and so I'm really happy to have heard about these artists. And, of course, I'll want to order their CDs as well.
Yeah.
Terrific.
Yeah, Randy Wood is excellent. Bill Miller is just wonderful guitar player and flute player too.
And obviously you're still writing music and creating music.
Yes. Well, you see, after Kevin died, things were a bit on hiatus. There had to be a little bit of space and time before I could go back to, the songs. And then I'll do what I can with what we have. Is there's not much, there's some technological challenges, but you do what you can. But I'm also going to be, say, finishing the video. But now that there's been some time, I can return to it. And but at the same time, I've just been kind of pulled back into music in a very exciting way. You mentioned the Jokers. Now there is an organization called Dissimilis, and it is an organization for the disabled in the arts. And my son Bjorn is autistic. And for the last, 12 years, he has been the keyboardist for the Jokers. And what they do is they color do color coding of chords, like say on guitars, on the keyboards. And so they have, usually parents or somebody tapping the notes, and they are absolutely incredible. They all play their own instruments. And so our longtime vocalist, she was moving away, and so I was asked to fill in as vocalist. Fantastic. And so we're just like the Partridge Family. It is a family organization. All the families are involved, and Halvard points for Halvard's my husband. He points for Bjorn. He also does song arrangement, and that has meant that he's been able to get in all these gadgets to do things with. He's an engineer, so some kind of gadgetry comes in. It's very mysterious to me, and he just goes running off to the office and doing all kinds of very interesting things in there. So but it's been a wonderful thing. And we just had a performance now here on this island. We're having 1,000 years anniversary.
Wow.
Of Saint Olav founding the first solid Norwegian church, and it's right here on Bumlo. Wow. And so we were part of a program, and our aspect of the program was that Norway is a society where, say, the disabled are encouraged to live up to their full potential and are given, help and the resources to be independent. So that was very special. And so, nobody, threw tomatoes, nobody stuck their fingers in their ears. So I would say that I was doing okay. But how have you folks been doing? Now that it's June, I imagine the Abenaki gardens are growing.
Yes, indeed they are. Yeah.
And I have to give you a message. Angie Bowie called me this morning just to say hello. And she said she was thinking about me and just wanted to say hello. So we talked for about an hour. And she asked me who the guest is today on the show. And I told her, oh, Sally, she wants me to send you her love. Here.
Well, please send Angie my love too. I'll never forget the first time We had an interview, was on Angie's show. Yeah.
Right.
It was you and me and Angie and Kevin, and she laughed so hard. She fell against the bedpost and almost hurt herself. And I don't know how anything got said because we were just laughing. We were just, in stitches the whole time.
Well, that's what
And
it's like when she calls me. We just laugh, basically.
That's the base for a perfect relationship. If you can't get in, you just, you start saying something, then you look at each other, and then you just, break into laughter. That's the best kind of friendship there is.
Yeah.
So
she
please
called
tell
me.
her I'm thinking about her.
I will
and
do that.
I hope she's doing just fine. It's not too hot out there.
A couple weeks ago, you're gonna laugh. She called me out of the blue, and I picked up the phone, and I heard, "Hello, Big Daddy."
Hello, Big Daddy.
You can hear her voice, right?
You mammer jammer.
So, can you tell us a little bit about your musical background, how you got interested in music, and how did
Okay, well, I've always, loved to listen to music. Now, I was involved, like, say, in singing, at school, choirs, and, we just, the robe, the bow. I've always enjoyed singing, but I never really thought about, say, doing it until, and this is how Kev and I met. We were both friends of, I became friends with James Lowe. He was a band leader for the Electric Prunes. And when the internet started opening up, I was contacting many bands' websites which I like. And I said, are you coming to Norway? Well, James and I became very good friends. And when we made the exodus to Facebook, that's how I met Kevin, because he was their tour manager in Europe and the UK. And we hit it off, and it was sort of like, you find that you have a relative you didn't know about, that was the feeling there was. And so he had a band, and he said, our, singers left. Can you, maybe you can try some things. You said you used to write poetry. You write well, maybe you can write something. So that's how that started.
Wow.
And so that was, when people, now during COVID, people were always sending sound bites to each other. But these Johnnies come lately. We were doing this a long time ago. We were in 2 different countries, and so we were sending MP3s back and forth and hammering the songs out like that, which isn't, it's a bit, it's a bit painstaking, but it worked. And then, of course, we'd get together over, he'd come here, I'd be in the UK. And so these days, that's how a lot of music is done digitally. So that's how it happened. Was I was just invited. It was a bit like, it just occurred to me with both Kev and with the jokes, I was invited to do these. I've also been doing jingles for offshore radio stations.
Wow.
This is a lot of fun because I can put on different voices, like, this is cool jazz hour. Saddle up, gals and guys. We're on the country hour. And it's a lot of fun. And so, everybody's a volunteer, and they're just trying to keep the great music alive and keep the spirit of offshore radio, which was very popular back in the 60s. And so that was kind of it. I was always more of a listener. But what's really great is when you realize that you can do something on your own as well.
Yes.
Some sort of like, I imagine, Rick, you grew up seeing all kinds of art, but then, it was just your own expression too.
Yeah.
You just find out, hey, I can do something, and it doesn't have to be just still life.
And look, Mom, I can do it on the bed sheets.
Well, I have to tell you about, some budding art here. When Oh, they'll kill me if they hear this, but when my two youngest were, they're about 2 and 3. And one day things were a little quiet. And when things are a little quiet, you know, something's not right. I go into the room and they've used the contents of the younger one's diaper to make this big mural on the wall. A smiley face son. You know,
Perfect.
I think that they knew. I'll bet the you know, the Museum of Modern Art would have loved it, but it would have been a little bit to take it out and send it. So I was like, "That's wonderful, kids. That's really beautiful." Now let's wash it off.
That's hilarious.
Oh yeah, you know, it's so, you know, you don't exactly want to, you know, tamp down on anyone's creativity. You just want to divert it to another. So when you said bed sheets, you know, you're just saying, let's find another medium.
In another color. I mean, raw sienna is nice, but
burnt sienna, yeah, exactly. It gets a little it's their burnt sienna stage, you know. That was their phase, like the blue phase and then the burnt sienna phase. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Well, I want to hear about it. Well, Rick, congratulations on your DVD coming out.
Oh, thank you. I'm very excited about it, and I'm excited that you have donated some music to it.
I'm very honored that you asked me, and of course, it's my pleasure, believe me.
You've been my cosmic sister for how long?
I think it's been about 12 years or so. You know, we met through Martin, and you know, who sadly passed away several years ago, but he was the one who brought us all together. And so you know, salute to our old friend Martin, who brought us together. And then, you know, it was interesting because we were so proud to have a band member who was an artist, you know, fine artist, because why not? It's more of an art collective than music, you know, just music. And saying, well, why shouldn't we? You know, how many bands have that? So we were very proud to have you with us. And I would say that since we met, you know, it's not that you ever formally became a member, you were just always were. And thank you so much for all the beautiful drawings that you've done.
I'm still working on illustrating your lyrics, you know.
Well, thank you, Rick. You know, I've got to tell you what I've been doing out here. My fingers, you can see, I've been painting like a fiend.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been cleaning and painting and painting and cleaning because, you know, it was embarrassing. A few cobwebs, that's okay. More than 5 is camp. So you just, you know, so I've just, you know, the whole house has needed a facelift. So I've just been, you know, going crazy, just getting things into shape.
Yeah. You're not lazy, that's for sure. Nobody can call you lazy, Sally.
I'm making up for years of laziness in some ways. So it's just been, so I've been a little under the radar, and I'm glad that this happened because I've had to post something on Facebook so everybody knows I'm not lying in a ditch somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I'm delighted to see you today and hear you.
It's wonderful to see and hear you and meet Deb, who, you know, it's wonderful to finally meet.
Did you meet Carolyn?
I've met Carolyn. Yeah,
Oh,
Carolyn,
yes.
come on in. Yeah, Sister Carolyn.
Here she is.
Hi, Sister Carolyn. I love your glasses.
She
Those
ran 3 blocks to get him off the guy.
Huh?
She ran 3 blocks to get them off the guy.
Oh. Well, once you take him, he can't exactly see you to chase back after you. So, you know.
Ironically, she was in Chicago when she did that.
Oh, well, that's if you're going to do it in Chicago, that's where you're going to do it. Now, last time I was in Chicago, I saw a guy dressed up like a Tyrannosaurus Rex dancing down the sidewalk. And I don't think it's because it was around Halloween. I think it's just Chicago.
Yeah. Yeah. And you grew up in Chicago.
Yes, I grew up in a suburb far west, so I was there, until I finished up undergrad school, and then I went up to University of Wisconsin in Madison. And so, so coming from the Corn Belt, yes. And but I've always so appreciated. I do want to say that Rick was not only our, honored artist, he was also our firekeeper. And so it seems that any situation you find yourself in, you're always the firekeeper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, the music never goes away. It's always there.
Yep.
And so I'm just very glad that there have been, say new opportunities, although, Kev passed away, but the music's still here.
Yeah.
Spirit never dies. Music doesn't die.
Yeah. He had a very strong spirit.
Oh, yes. Still does.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Every so often I can just hear him saying, "Get with it, girly." Yeah.
Yep. He's still around.
Yes. And so it's just wonderful to have this time to remember him. And like I was saying, it was some years back that we had our first meeting, all of us together, you and Angie and Kev and I. And I'll just never forget that. It was just such a wonderful time.
Yes, that was great. Oh my gosh.
Sally, I wanted to just remark on some of the lyrics in the songs that we played. And I was wondering if you could talk a little bit more about Heavy Things and the lyrics in that song.
It's funny. Sometimes lyrics just come to you. And I was writing a song about finding it very difficult to find the words to say, to express yourself with. And then after I'd filled up 3 pages of lyrics, I thought, boy, for not knowing what to say, whoever this is sure got a lot to say after this talk. But then I cut it down, and it was just sort of, sometimes we can get, it's like when Rick, when you express yourself through art, you're not saying words. You've just got to, say, express through the pictures. And oftentimes you're going to leave it to others to interpret what they're going to interpret.
Right.
And so this was really about, finding it very difficult to tell someone how you feel. I also didn't want to use the word love in the song. I wanted to be able to say it without using the usual words you say. Yeah. And so that's how that developed. And then it was the first time we did it as a demo, and it was speeded up. It was like a country song. And I was saying, no, we got to slow this one down.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Exactly. And so so that's what we did. And then we made a video for that out at Hadley Castle.
Yes.
And so it was one of the first that we did. So that was solidly folk, but the rest of the stuff we did, it's very difficult to say. We never wanted to be confined to any one particular genre. It's just, you've got a song. What genre is it? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
That video you made at Hadley Castle is extremely beautiful.
Oh, Kev deserves all the, all respect for that one, because he was the one who had to do all the editing. And I'm sitting there, no, you can't use that shot. My butt looks big. Yeah.
You're a riot.
It takes one to know one. But that's how the lyrics came about, was just, I think it was just the theme of wanting to express yourself to someone. But it can be very difficult.
Yeah.
That's brilliant how you wrote that.
Well, yeah, it's an autistic thing. They often have trouble, saying or, saying something, and then it just, it just doesn't go over very well at all. And so I did want to write something about, having the thoughts, maybe having, or even having the words and not being able to say them, which we see a lot. Yeah.
And I'm Ricky Rocket, bringing you all the hits with an arrow.
Oh, Power Rangers. Didn't we always joked about, us, doing a remake of Power Rangers.
Yeah.
And you're always wanting to be the pink one. And so, well, there are four of us. There are four of us here. What's stopping us?
Right. Oh, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have laughed so hard over the years, you and I.
Oh my goodness. And the thing is that nothing was off limits ever.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, when I think about some of the things that we were laughing about, I'm saying, people would think that we were crazy, but you know what? We are.
Hey, it works for me.
You got to be crazy to stay sane in this sad old world, really.
Yeah, I think you're right, Sally. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So, well, it's just so great to see you all, and I was just so excited to be invited on because I hadn't met Deb yet, but of course I've been acquainted with what you're doing there, and just keeping up with you had the Abenaki Gardens just look so beautiful, and I'd love to see that sometime and see the station where it all happens.
Yeah. Wow. That's so great.
Yeah. Well, we do try to sometimes video our guest and bring that out so people can see what's happening behind the scenes.
So, you're being videoed right now.
Yes.
And this will be
my
on.
gosh. Yeah.
You want to do a toothpaste commercial or anything?
Well, I'm just wondering if I have any paint on my nose. I've been, I was picking paint splatters out of my hair a little earlier, and of course my hands are just, it's going to take a little while for that to wear off. But I just had to last week I went to the grocery store, and what I didn't realize was that I had a green spot right on my cheek. I thought, well, maybe I'll be a trendsetter.
It's really been fun, Sally, to hear about your adventures, and we do have a limited time, so I just wanted to ask you if there was any other greetings or thoughts that you had for our listeners today.
I'll just say hello and thank you for listening, and I'll keep listening because you have so many wonderful guests on, and just fantastic music, and of course the hosts are absolutely the greatest.
Aww. See what she said about you, Deb.
And you too.
Well, I know it takes a lot of work to run a station, so everyone who listens really appreciates all the work that you do. And I'll say Lee Winnie.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. It's an honor to have you on here today with us, Sally.
Yeah.
It's great to see you, Firekeeper. And so, and also, like I said, give Angie my love, and to everyone there. It's wonderful to see my sisters, my brother, and we'll check in soon again, I'm sure.
Good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Carolyn's going to cue up a new song for us on the CD players. She's sitting at the board, and she's in control of all the volumes and microphones. And
engineer.
Yeah, she's quite the engineer.
She does a great job lining up music.
Yeah.
She's like a psychedelic chipmunk.
Alvin and tie-dye.
Right, yeah.
You can be David Seville, and then Deb and I can be the other two. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's really been fun to have you here with us.
Well,
thanks
so
for
much,
joining
Deb,
us.
And, And thanks, Carolyn, for all choosing the great songs. And it's, we'll keep on listening. And thank you so much. Love to you all.
Love right back to you.
Yes.
And your family.
Yes.
And tell them all I wish them the best, please.
I sure will. Okay, take care, folks.
You too, Sally. So great to see you.
Wonderful to see you, darling. You look wonderful, darling.
Well, thank you very much.
Leave it on a laugh.
Okay. Adios, you guys.
Adios.